Survivors. Guess what? It is Thursday, April 11th, and your girl over here, Regina Rossi, it is my birthday. Woohoo! Yay, yay, yay! And I'm super excited because we are doing a behind the scenes with Nicole. She was on this Monday, and if you didn't get to see the Monday episode, it was extraordinary. You got an opportunity to get to know her story about what she went through physically, emotionally, psychologically, and that led her to her amazing journey right now in her business of taking care of people in their nutrition and, of course, in their mindset. So, we're bringing her back today to be able to have her share a little bit of what we talk about behind the scenes. Maybe there's something Nicole wanted to share with you. Maybe there's something I want to ask her. And I'm just so excited to have her as we continue on the journey of paying it forward, appreciating our differences. So, welcome, Nicole, our holistic nutrition and life coach. Hey, Nicole.
Hi, thank you so much. And we were chatting away this morning. I didn't even say happy birthday.
Oh, that's okay.
Happy
Thank you.
birthday.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. So, really great show on Monday. So much great information. You and I talked about afterward, as I'm dealing with, I'll talk about myself, right? Real talk right now is that
Mhm.
I'm dealing with a really bad sinus infection, which has been something that I've been dealing with since I'm 16 years old. I deal with polyps in my nose and underneath the eye socket and brain, and I go to see an ENT. And I've had a couple of surgeries throughout my life. And yeah, so this is what I'm dealing with today. So, Nicole, why don't you just share a little bit of plus of my own personal dealings with how you, as a holistic nutritionist and life coach, would kind of been sharing with me what could support me inside of this infection.
Yeah, for sure. And a lot of these things, these imbalances too, can be caused by stress, and it's just kind of like a down run effect from that sometimes too. So I think a lot of even trauma survivors suffer from things like this. Um, Sometimes the underlying issue for a sinus infection can be a candida overgrowth or something of that nature. Some people, will associate candida with like a yeast infection or something like that, but it doesn't have to be that. It could not show up in that way at all. It can show up in, recurrent urinary tract infections. It can show up as recurrent sinus infections or like foggy thinking. Even it can really affect our mood as well, like a candida overgrowth. But that can be one of the reasons why people have recurrent sinus infections. So what we were talking about before was a spray. It's like a called Silver Pure spray from Designs for Health. I don't represent them. I just like it. It's a spray, so you would even like just spray it up your nose before bed, and that it helps you breathe and have a good night's sleep. But it also is antimicrobial, and it helps to kill off the bacteria that's there. And there's also a homeopathic remedy. I believe it's called Burrita Carb, Burrita Carbonica. I'm if I might not be giving you the right remedy right now, but I believe it's that one. And that helps with polyps as well, especially nasal polyps. It helps with.
So that's
It's,
amazing. Thank you.
it's
Nicole.
homeopathic and very safe. So,
Yes, I have a dear friend who is a homeopath. She has been my homeopath for the past 10 years.
oh,
So
wow.
that is where I'm taking on my homeopathic remedies. So super awesome that you brought up homeopathic. And then also even the spray, which is all of these natural, right, what Nicole's referring to as natural sprays,
Mhm.
things that don't have all the chemicals that we tend to put into our body and that tend to kind of be a band-aid and mask things, but then later on cause so much more, right? Issues.
Right, right. Sometimes these overgrowths are so difficult to get rid of because there's things called biofilms as well, that can kind of hide the bacteria. So using things like biofilm disruptors as well can really help break open the biofilm so that you can kill the bacteria. So there's lots of different things that you can do, lots of different natural protocols that are extremely effective.
Yeah, that's wonderful. So, if you guys are listening and hitting the replay, some of you may know about some of these kind of bigger words like biofilms and all these things. And if you don't, it is definitely something to look into, as research is constantly showing that in the United States, because you're in Canada
Mhm.
sometimes, right? In the United States, we tend to have a lot more processed, more GMO foods, which was meant to kind of exponentially, right, be able to bring more food to more people
Right.
at the same exact time. Down the years later, we're starting to see how it impacts our natural, healthy way of our body is made. Our body is made to be able to take care of ourselves. And check out Nicole's, like I said, listen to our replay on Monday as she shared her own journey about how she dealt with her own physical illnesses and then went through her emotional time as well, that led her on the path to become a holistic nutritionist and life coach. So she, very much like a homeopath, is you can talk about a remedy, but it's really the emotional state. So
Mhm.
why I say that is, I'm blessed to be partially trained by my dear friend who's a homeopath, so I can have a sinus infection. My daughter has a sinus infection, but we won't have the same remedy because it's
Mhm.
based on our state. It's our way of being. So if she's super emotional and she's clingy, that's a Pusatella remedy. That's not me. My sinus infection isn't like wanting to cling on and hold somebody.
Mm.
So I have a separate remedy for that. But it's so interesting.
I
So
find that so interesting.
yeah,
That's so
yeah.
cool.
I would totally hook you up with Sue. It's like another thing that would be another toolbox.
Yeah,
So
absolutely.
we've
I
got a
didn't
few
believe
minutes.
in homeopathic remedies for a long time, and then I used it myself. I think a naturopath gave me something, and I was like, "Whoa, what's happening right now?"
Oh, yeah, that's a whole
Yeah.
amazing topic. Well, we've got just a few minutes left. So, Nicole, like we've had Monday and we were supposed to like touch base the next day, and Miss Regina herself, you know, did the whole got a sinus infection, got involved, and Nicole and I did not connect. And guess what about that? There's no shame on my end, there's no shame on Nicole's end. She is a loving and caring human being. That's what Rise and Thrive is about, connecting like-minded people to like say, life happens,
Mhm.
right? So we have a way to respond or react to that. And I'm blessed to have Nicole checking in on me, and we get to be here today. So easy breezy, right? Sometimes things just don't work out, but we can always reschedule. So with that, Nicole, what do you want to share with the audience? What like kind of hit you on Monday when you left and you were like, something else I want to share with them, something else I want to say, maybe something you want to ask the audience that we can leave them with a question and then they can start chatting back with.
Sure, sure. I mean, one of the things that hit me when I thought about it later was one of the viewers asked a really good question and asked, like, what am I doing differently now? And I wanted to kind of add some value and give something that somebody can actually go and take away with today and actually go and do if they want. So, one of the things I wanted to talk about was like inner child work. Um, Sometimes when we are having a complaint about somebody else or other people in the outside world, maybe we don't feel supported or we don't feel loved. We don't feel like people are listening to us or respected, things like that. We can kind of look inside and say, okay, well, in what way am I not doing this for myself? And when we kind of can figure out why what we're not doing for ourselves, just say we don't feel supported. Well, maybe we're not investing in ourselves, in our education, maybe, or we're not investing in, our ability to be organized and have a good morning or something like that. And those are the kinds of ways that we can support ourselves. And then once we do that, I find that we can see a lot of shifts in the way that other people treat us as well. It's like kind of like an energetic thing, like we were talking about with the homeopathy. Once we give ourselves that kind of support that we need, we can see it from other people. Once we prioritize ourselves, we can see that from other people as well. See other people prioritizing us. And I think that's a deep kind of these deep core wounds that happen during childhood where we are missing something and we're not getting that. If we start to give that to ourselves by kind of asking our inner child what it needs, that can be really helpful. Or even imagining that your inner child is with you and you're suddenly having to take care of them, because then it automatically raises your standards. If you feel like you're not worthy or not good enough, you're automatically raising your standards by having this inner child with you all of a sudden. Maybe you're eating potato chips for dinner, and then you're like, well, now I've got this little kid that I have to take care of. I'm not going to give them chips for dinner, or maybe I'll give them chips, but after their dinner. Or just, would I be dating this person if I had my inner child here to take care of? What does my inner child think of this person that I'm
Ooh,
right?
what a great question of the day.
Yeah.
All right, guys, we are like right at the end. She came on real quick, and I'm going to put that question in the chat. So the chat is for my birthday is what, right? Oops, I don't even know what's happening here. All right, perfect. So repeat that question again, Nicole. It is, what would your inner child say, right?
Hmm.
So here's the question of the day. What would your inner child say when, and then we're going to leave the dot, dot, dot. And then I want you to take a moment and think about, what would your inner child say when you are, what's the word I'm going to make? I don't want to use self-deprecating, but give me another word, Nicole. When you are,
Maybe yeah, what would your inner child say when you're not caring for yourself?
I love it. What would you say when you are not caring for yourself?
What would
These,
you do for your inner child
and
in
then
that case?
right. Next would be then, what would you do for your inner child? So you notice she didn't say, she said do. There was
Mm-hmm.
an action to take, right? So we're thinking about, if we're like not really, if you take a moment and go, what are we really saying about ourselves? Especially when you wake up in the morning. Like I started
Mm-hmm.
my morning with my sinus infection. When I took a breath in the mirror, I was literally noticing I was saying really negative things about myself,
Mm,
right? And it's my birthday. And
yeah.
I caught it. So I caught that self awareness, that practice, and I shifted it. And I was like saying positive things. But I love this because this has me look at the inner child, right? There
Mm-hmm.
are those deep wounds. Most of this comes from deep wounds when we were talking. She's a trauma specialist. And that would be the moment. Now I can bring in my inner child and go to that deep wound time and be able to say, like, hey, what would what would my child be saying to me? Hey, don't talk to yourself. My daughter says that all the time.
Oh, I
They
love
say,
that.
like, oh, mommy's stupid. And she's like, you're not stupid, mommy. You just made a mistake. It's
Yeah.
a perfect example, right? And then what would you do for that inner child? So when my daughter says that to me, what do? I go and give her the biggest hug. I feel her love and I go, thank you so much. And sometimes I get teary. So,
Yeah.
Nicole, that is brilliant. I'm giving you guys that birthday gift. Go and take today and notice, what are you saying about yourself? Are they positive things? Or are you saying negative things? What are you saying about others? Right? Because we get triggered a lot by others. But
Mm-hmm.
notice that that trigger, yes, can be easy to blame that way, but the three fingers back here have something for us to look at. So today's gift, birthday challenge, is when you are feeling bad about yourself, saying bad about yourself, saying bad things about others, tap into your inner child. Tap into that inner child. See what that inner child is like. Really feel that, right? And then say, what would your inner child be saying to you?
Mm-hmm.
And if you're noticing the inner child is saying something similar, then that's something that is a memory that has been brought in. You
Mm-hmm.
took it as a belief system, right? And that's not the truth. If somebody said something bad about you your whole life, that's not the truth,
Mm-hmm.
right? So,
Absolutely. That's the biggest thing. That's such a good take home, is saying, actually, that's not true. Um,
awesome.
that's not true. I'm a wonderful person, or I'm a good person, and I was a good kid. Being able to say that and being able to kind of care for and babysit your inner child to the way that you would do it, instead of maybe the way that that somebody in your life that didn't really take care of you would have done it. like a reparenting of yourself too, but it automatically, yeah, like raises your standards on how you treat yourself.
Oh, I love that.
Mm.
Being able to reparent yourself. So Nicole's got so much juicy like tidbits and strategies, and she's really out there to support you and help you. So Nicole, why don't you share with the people right here like how they can reach out to you? Do you offer like a free consultation? Just share that for the next 30 seconds before we get to say goodbye.
Absolutely, sure. So anyone can email me at Nicole at nutritionaftertrauma.com or Nicole at riseaftertrauma.com. And I have the website, which Regina has put there, nutritionaftertrauma.com. But you can reach out to me if you want a 30-minute consultation to discuss anything. It's completely free, or you can send me an email and discuss anything you'd like.
Oh, that's so fantastic. Nicole, thank you so much for giving me the gift of health today, mind wise and also body wise. I'm looking forward to getting those little links from you so I can start adding that into my body. But also, I'm going to be taking away today noticing my mindset, noticing how I'm talking to myself or how others, right? Like how I might be thinking about others, and I'm going to like take a moment and I'm going to bring my inner child. I have really a great memory. So I'm going to sit there like this one time. I was like 5 years old. I was wearing a hula skirt and I was like dancing around. And my parents were like, I just remember that. Right. So I'm going to take her and she's going to be with me today.
I
And
love
right. So every time like I'm going through something like because I'm dealing with the sinus stuff, I'm clear it will trigger something, I'm going to have that little dancing hula skirt Regina with me and be able to listen quietly and put my hand on my heart and hear what she has to say. And then be able to ask that, next question as well. Right. So it is a brilliant. You are brilliant, brilliant, brilliant. We are so happy that you were able to come today. I will leave this big question of the day for everybody. What would your inner child say when you're not caring for yourself? And then what would you do for your inner child? You get to reparent yourself. If you did not get the self love and the self care, you're an adult and you can get to do that now. And if you're not sure how to do that, guess what? Nicole is here for you. I am here for you. Raquel is here for you because we rise and thrive together. So thank you so much, Nicole, for being here. Till next time.
Thank you so much, Regina. Thank you for